G'day guys and welcome to the Centre Bounds for this my round 12 team review for how my team did. Stay tuned. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, another round, whatever way you want to say it, has come and gone. And yeah, we scored 2007. We managed to crack the 2K this week in terms of the score, which, sometimes may be good, sometimes maybe shit. Some people couldn't get there. We managed to, sneak up just a little bit higher up the ranks. We're now inside the top 20K. Gee, it's been a real long, hard slog to get to this point. And no, I have not disowned my Bombers. I'm not in an Essendon hat today or beanie because we're entering a round where we need to go get around the big freeze. It's coming up soon. It's coming up very close. And I just thought now might be a real good time to really start promoting it, I guess. I got to fight the beast, got to fight MND. It looks absolutely wonderful. They tend to nail it more often than not, and I absolutely love their design. Even got the little pendant right here with Neil's face on it. So if you haven't, guys, head on over to your nearest, grocery store or Bunnings or something that can get this, because it's all going to a wonderful cause. So this is how the team did on the weekend. We ended up carrying a lot of money. We ended up carrying a lot of money last week because we just triple downgraded and went to get all of the cash gem that we could possibly get, whilst also setting ourselves up to potentially double upgrade in this first week now, coming off the first week of the buy rounds. Because I just thought, you know what, if I trade in a premium, if I get a premium in, well, they're just going to miss a game coming up in the buy rounds anyway. Why not just get in the players that are going to potentially make us some money and go a long way? So who we ended up trading in, we ended up trading in Lockie Sullivan, Kane McAuliffe, and Joel Frazier. These were the three that we brought in, and none of them disappointed. All of them gave us over 60 points, which is what you want from your rookies. They're all got the last buy round, so they're going to get some few more price rises before we get to the last buy round. And I thought, you know what, we'll do that, and thank God we did, because if we traded in Jordan Dawson, I would be an absolute mess. I'd be an emotional wreck if I traded in Jordan Dawson last week for 620K, only for him to dish out a 55. I would be besides myself. But we did not do that. We decided to play sensible. And just for shits and giggles, I decided to captain the fish because there was no way in the world we were not taking Marcus Bontempelli. I told you guys. I told you, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing wrong with a day cost VC, right? Nothing wrong with it. But I just thought in my mind, there's no Ed Richards, there's no Liberatore. They're going to need Bont around the ball, and they just don't have an answer for him. He's just too big. He's too skillful. He's playing at Marvel Stadium. He loves to play at Marvel. Like, all these things, which is, to me, we're just screaming, you got to pick Marcus Bontempelli. And I am so glad that I did. And then you can sort of see it. And that's where I suppose a knowledge or an understanding of footy can also go a long way into making these judgment calls, because, Ed Richards was in the game. He was taking bulk CBAs, got injured after this, and then it's like, all right, well, who's going to take him? So it's got to go somewhere. Those centre bouncers have to go somewhere. And it was so good. Marcus got it, and we saw what Marcus did. Goat things. So if you got Nick Dacos, don't be disappointed. Dacos was a wonderful, wonderful VC, and most people have Bont anyway. Luke Ryan, degenerate, just how does a defender, right? How can a defender score 120 plus when their team won by 100 odd points? How? How, Sway? How? It just doesn't make no sense how a defender can get 120 plus and their team won by around 100. It just doesn't make sense. Luke Ryan is Neo. He's just the chosen one when it comes to the back line. It's just ridiculous. Dan Houston, 98 against the Blues. A little bit disappointed, but hey, the Blues are a tough matchup, so you got to take it. Sheasel and Whitfield both had the bye, and Clohesy and Graham both didn't really do anywhere near as much in a win. At home, they just couldn't cut the mustard. Not like my Sullivan, McAuliffe, and Fraser. These are the three rookies that are good. These two rookies, not quite so good. Butters with a 98. Again, tough matchup against Carlton, and just didn't have the support. It was, especially in that last quarter, it was a demolition. I am very terrified for this week. Just between me and you. Sarong around the ball in the midfield, 102. You know what I mean? Like, less impact than Ryan. For sure. Absolutely less impact than Ryan. So, yeah, Sarong 102. Look, we take it. Merritt 97. This could have been so much more. 3 behinds for Zach. 3 behinds. And it wasn't just him. Merritt, Stringer, Martin, Langford. These 4 combined for 0 goals, 10 behinds. And an out on the full as well from Jake. 0 goals, 10. Merritt, 3 behinds. Unbelievable. And when we lose by under 2 kicks, and you got 0 goals, 10, with Nick Martin walking into goal, 10 meters out, slams it into the post, just sums up our night. Really. Rao 111, Took 108. Gee, he got bailed out there in the end. Absolutely bailed out, but hey, we take it for our Supercoach score. In real life, I was very unhappy. But no. Jokes aside, we should have won. And the fact that the Gold Coast Suns played as well as they did, I'm not going to take anything away from the Gold Coast Suns. The Gold Coast Suns played very well on their home deck where they're known to play, and yet they still should have lost to us. If we could just kick straight, and we would have won. Clearances we won, inside 50s we won, contested possessions we won. Like almost every metric we won away from home. So I'm not entirely disappointed with the fact that we lost. Yes, of course, it sucks. But hey, it'd been like 2 months since we last lost. So would you a loss? Hopefully Langford isn't out for a long time. Because if Langford is out, that hurts. That hurts. And the Suns were basically full strength anyway. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, all right, they didn't have Wits. We didn't have Draper or Goldie. You know what I mean? Like, much for muchness. They were basically full strength. And then, us missing some really important players in the midfield. So, as well as on the wings, which we sort of were bound out. But I'm not disappointed. Pretty happy. Pretty up and about. Sullivan, McAuliffe, mate, he was on track for over 100. And then second half, just disappearing act. A bit similar to Harvey Reid. Disappearing act in the second half when the Cats started to come good. But looks like Dusty Martin might not play this week, which could be even better for young Kane McAuliffe. All these boys didn't play. Maxi with a 95 and a shellacking. That's his floor, crazily enough. English did it really well going head-to-head. Only Darcy Cameron as a genuine ruckman for the Pies, and English showing us what he can do. 131. Good to see it, mate. Would have been great if I saw more of these earlier on in this season, mate, when less people owned you. Yes, son of a shawarma. By Flanders, 119. Flanders just continues to do Flanders things. Like, this is the reason why I started him. He's just... I knew he was going to kill it. I knew it was going to be so good. I just didn't think he would be this good. This move behind the ball has been absolutely sensational. Wilson, 54. Disappointing. Was hoping for a bit more. But yeah, now with this 54, it's really going to hit hard on his cash generation. Sexy boy, 6 tons up with 100. And he's got the Saints this week. Let's go. For all of us who still hold on to Alex Sexton, we have been saved by our Lord and Savior. So yes, so good. So good. Will he continue doing this? Will he be a hold? Will he be a keeper in our forward lines? Unlikely. The homophobe is going to come back. So unlikely to go there. Fraser did well. So this is the team. Pretty good, not too bad. Could make some improvements, and that's what we're going to do. So I want to trade out Wilson because his cash gen is absolutely going to stall. And he's done an incredible job for us, Darcy Wilson. He has been nothing short of sensational. Sensational, some might say even. He has made us 273K. Well done, son. So good. He might be premature trading him out, but his break even's up to 98 now. So I'm happy to trade him out. It was always going to be a trade out anyway. So Darcy Wilson, 98. Thank you for coming. And so who do I want to get? I absolutely want, I know it sucks. It pains me. I don't want to pay that much for Dane Zorko, but he is a forward premium I would love to have, especially coming off of his bye. Really handy. Really, really handy. Means I'm going to have him for all of the next few weeks to come. And he is, as long as he has the role, he's absolutely a top 6 forward. So he's going to go. And then it just depends on what comes next. So Klahisi, I'd like to trade Klahisi out as well. Okay. Klahisi, his break even isn't as high as Wilson's. Klahisi's break even is at 70. Okay. So he probably could hit it. He does have the Saints, as you can see at Marvel Stadium. And he's scored over 70 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times out of the first 12 games. So again, so I just want to cash him in. I don't want him to lose his cash. So he can go. And then I might just send one of Sexton or Fisher into the back line. And the person I want to get is Dylan Moore. Dylan Moore definitely been on the radar as someone who I want to finish off my forward line with. And the last person being, of course, Isaac Rankin. So these are my 6 that I would love to finish off with. And so now Dylan Moore always was on the radar. Due to the role that he plays, he's not guaranteed to go absolutely astronomical every single week. But he's shown that he's capable of doing some incredible things, and it's not the first time that he's done it. He's down to 500K, which is still less than what his starting price was, and he's got the round 15 buy, a buy that I am not completely fully stacked in. You know what I mean? And so I do have to do one more trade, and it really just comes down to who is named. Really, who's going to play? Could it be a Dawson? Maybe it's Graham who goes and frees up some money, or could it be a Rogers? If Rogers goes, I can still afford, and I can swing Graham here into the midfield. And then I could get in someone like a Dawson from North Melbourne if he's named, which will obviously be pretty cool because then I also have some more. That could be a Will Dawson, could be really handy. But there is another player. There is another player, not a midfielder, not a defender, I mean, but in the midfield. Now, who do I trade out entirely depends on whether or not it's true that this guy is going to get a lot more of the pill. Okay, who is it going to be? So Graham comes out. We do a little bit of DPP finagling. And it could be, yes, it could very well be one Sam Berry. Why could it be Sam Berry? Because it looks like the injury to Crouch is a lot more serious than initially feared, and he could be out for the rest of the season. They're going to need another contested ball winner to be in there. Is it going to be Laird? Is it going to be Berry? Is it going to be Saligo? Saligo already is playing. Berry doesn't play because you have too many similar type players. But if Crouch is gone, Berry could be the one to come in and take his place in the side. So it could very well be that Sam Berry could end up being a wonderful. Now the difference between Graham, so it has to be Graham to go out for this for this to happen. Now, if this is the case and it comes out that Sam Berry is the one who's going to be given a call up and be given a lot more responsibility to play on the ball, then that is absolutely unbelievable. Then it means all of a sudden that Berry could give us some very, very decent scores playing full-time midfield at 220K. You know what I mean? Like, not too dissimilar to Harley Reid's starting price. So if Berry is the one who gets the call up, then he really could be a sneaky little ticket to play for us. Now, when it comes to the buys, coming into round 13, we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, as you can see, no issues with building a team this week. Round 14, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So that's 19 there as well, which is obviously really good. Round 15, it's a little bit more tight, but not from a premium department. The tightness from a premium department is only 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 4 premiums in round 15. The rest of them, rookies, who would be more than likely traded out by this point in time. So not entirely concerned about this whatsoever. And so that's why I don't mind getting in Dylan Moore. Now, Dylan Moore might have a tougher opposition in GWS this week. But then you look at who he has to come the following 2 weeks. Richmond and West Coast in the next 2 weeks after that, which is obviously really impressive. He's then got Geelong. Now, if Moore is playing a lot more higher up the ground in the midfield, he could go really well there as well. So a lot of favourable matchups to come for Dylan Moore, and I do want to get him in, even though he does have the bye coming up. I just think at 500K, it's going to be rare to get him for this price again moving forward. If it's not Berry and he's not going to, the news comes out that it's not really him who's going to be doing a lot of the work, it's going to be a Saligo, it's going to be someone else, then Berry can go out and I can trade in someone who is substantially cheaper, like a Dawson. If Dawson's not named, if he's not named, then it could be someone even like a mid-season draftee. It could be Blight, who I think is very confident going to play for Richmond, or it could be even a Sadal Hole, who I also think is going to be playing for us because our wing department really was exposed on the weekend. So he could get a gig as well. Now, in terms of my VC and Cs coming up for the week, don't really have anything too obvious. I do like Dacos at the MCG, could go bananas, but I also like Max Gawn. Max Gawn could go huge up against Darcy Cameron solo rocking. So Max Gawn, they're going to be under the pump big time at the club. He's the captain. He's the leader. He's going to have a lot of it on his shoulders. And I can anticipate a very strong bounce back against a Collingwood team, which has been very valiant with a lot of injuries. But Maxi Gawn could be the one who just goes absolutely bananas. Also depends on what the weather is like on Monday. If it's going to be rainy, could be repeat stoppages. You never know. So I think Gawn, either Gawn or Dacos, it's really a flip of a coin for who you want as your captain. Now, the vice captain, I might just leave it as the Bond, playing at Marvel against Brisbane. Could just leave it there. If not, Shazel could do potentially okay against West Coast or Fisher. If you've got Rowan Marshall, that frickin' Rowan Marshmallow fraud can only do well against nobody. Well, if he's got Ned Moyle by himself, then bloody Rowan Marshall is going to be a pretty good one for you. Can't believe it. He's such a fraud. Disgusting. I wouldn't go English against the Big O. I'm just going to back in the hot hand of Bond. I'm just going to go the hot hand of Bond on fire. Bond is Bond. He's reminded us all what he can do. And probably might just go Bond into Gawn. That could just be what I do. The Giants are playing against the Hawks. Could send someone to Whitfield, so I don't want to go there. Maybe it could be a Tom Green, but it's UTAS, very big ground, very wide expanses. Probably wouldn't go. Someone like a contested beast Yeah, my options are fairly limited this week. If you got any Swans, like maybe Heaney. Maybe it could be Heaney into Gawn. Heaney at home against Geelong. He'll be well rested. Could be Heaney. Heaney's done some really cool things. Unfortunately, he hasn't really popped off as much as of late. So maybe it's not him. A lot of attention. He's been getting a lot of attention. So he's not going with those big 140s, 130s anymore. But hey, you never know. Maybe this break could go a long way to helping him bounce back. But I'm just so confident in Gawn as my captain that I feel like potentially I could go. Because maybe Sam Berry. Maybe Jarrett was no, sorry, Sam Berry. Sorry, Sam Berry's here. Maybe the Brisbane Lions Berry could be sent to Bond to try and quell his influence in the midfield. So I'm probably just gonna maybe go with a potentially safer option. I'm not entirely sure if the Cats would send someone to Heaney, or if they try to send it to Goulden, or if they'll try sending him to Chad Warner, who's just on absolute fire. Could be Heaney. Or it could be Flanders. It could be Sammy Flanders. Am I crazy? Against the Saints? Am I crazy for thinking maybe Sam Flanders against the Saints? Look, we'll think about it. We'll think about it over the weekend. But that's what I've got at the moment. That's what I've got at the moment. The forward line. So I still need. All right. So if I just put these players on the field, I'm really running low on trades. It's been a difficult season for me. That's well documented. We don't really need to go over it into too much detail, but we still need a midfielder. Still need a midfielder. And Fisher should come forward when I try one of these guys out. And I'll still need a forward, because Sexton, I highly doubt, will maintain his spot. If he does, then that's sensational. And that's one less person to worry about. But it's unlikely that Sexton maintains his spot in the side, I don't think. Ewell just won a Rising Star nomination, and they love the ball in his hands. He's also young. He's the future. So Sexton could go. And yeah, so we still need 3 upgrades with 9 trades to go. We're getting pretty close, but I think we're making up for the lack of quantity with some real good quality, I think. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my team. So stay tuned. I hopefully will have this out before the 7:30 live stream. See us over there. Love to chat with you guys. Love the interaction. Love the banter. I anticipate fully that you guys are going to come after me for my Bombers losing on the weekend, but I don't care, because we're still sitting pretty on second on the ladder. So if you liked what you had to see here today, please drop us a like, subscription if you're new, and hit that notification bell to make sure that you don't miss out on any of our videos and live streams that we pump out on a regular basis, live every Monday at 7:30 p.m. and Thursday for the drive home at 5:30. So we hope to see you there, because here at the Centre Bounce, we do the hard work so you don't have to. Bye for now.